In this exercise, we want to leverage data that's already been created and has been saved into a Fusion 360 archive file. To do this, we can use the Upload Data options in the Autodesk 360 dashboard, or we can simply expand the dash on the left of the Fusion 360 window and click the Upload button. With the dialog open, we can browse to select files, or we can use Windows Explorer or the Finder tool in Macintosh to simply drag files into the dialog box. The data will be converted and uploaded into the active project, and once the conversion is complete, we can simply double-click on the item, and it will open up in a new tab inside of Fusion 360 so we can begin editing. When the file opens, you'll see it's an unfinished assembly. Reviewing the design in the browser, you'll see there are three major components: the base, the seat, and the caster assembly. In each of these components, there are subcomponents. We want to focus our time on one of the subcomponents in the caster. We'll right-click and isolate this component. Then we'll return to the browser and activate the component. This will ensure that any of the data that we create is part of this caster. There's no appropriate sketch plane in the caster presently, so we need to create one. First, we'll create an axis by selecting the cylindrical face. Then we'll create a plane based on that axis at an angle. In this case, we'll leave that angle to be 0 and create the plane. Selecting the plane, we can right-click and say that we want to create a sketch on that plane. The marking menus cascade and allow us to access more tools without having to go to the toolbar. We'll project the round end of the pin and the axis into the sketch. Let's convert them to construction geometry so they're not considered actual geometry by the modeling tools. We'll see that we've created a new sketch, and we'll see that our plane is currently turned off. I'll use the Look At tool, select the plane, and it revolves it around so we're able to start sketching in a view that's easily recognized to us. Let's start the two-point rectangle. One of the keys here is to not worry too much about being precise. However, Fusion 360 does allow us to use parametric dimensions. We'll set the horizontal size for 13, use the Tab key to switch over to the vertical size, set that to 6, and create our rectangle. So once again, I'll use the marking menu and just simply repeat that last command. Pick somewhere along the edge and overlap the two rectangles. I want to set the vertical height on this one to create what will eventually be a radius of 24 when we revolve our profile. And we'll set the width to be 10 millimeters. To properly control this, we'll still need to apply a couple of dimensions. Let's set the offset between the end of the pin and the outside of the rectangle to 3. And we're finished with our sketch.